right, friends, so we are going to go ahead and culture our Bifidobacterium infantis into cultured dairy. So here we have our actual probiotic strain, the Bifidobacterium infantis. I've got organic half and half. If you're outside of the US, you can use whole milk and heavy cream. I am using a mason jar because I like to make my yogurt in the Instant Pot in mason jars. So I am just pouring my milk into the mason jar, and then I am heating it up on the stove because this milk is not ultra pasteurized. And Dr. Davis often says that there can be other spores and bacteria in the milk. So I am just gently heating my milk to 180 degrees to make sure that there are no other live bacteria in the milk, so that our Bifidobacterium infantis will be the live culture in this yogurt. So when I'm done, I am pouring the milk into a clean, sterilized jar. I'm not pouring it back into the other one because that one had residual of the unpasteurized milk. So here is our actual culture, the Bifidobacterium infantis. I've just got one little scoop. I'm going to be using inulin powder and honey as our prebiotic food for this culture. So here I am pouring in 2 teaspoons of inulin powder into a sterilized glass bowl. You've got to be very careful when you're making your yogurts because you want to make sure that your bacteria is what survives. There are lots of microbes around us. So now I am checking the milk. I meant to grab it when it was about 95 degrees, but it got cooled down to 86 degrees. And as I pour the milk in, I am stirring it vigorously to make sure that all of those inulin crystals are well dissolved. The reason I wanted to grab the milk when it was around 95 is because the heated milk helps to melt the crystals. So here I am adding in about a teaspoon of honey. I didn't measure it. You could see it was just a couple drops of honey. And this is going to be really great food for our Bifido to feast on during the fermentation. So like I said, I am whisking it together really well to make sure it's all dissolved very well. And then I am pouring it back into the mason jar. Once I'm done, I'm putting the lid and just gently putting the screw top on. I did not seal it, let it breathe a little bit. And then I am adding it into my Instant Pot. There is no water. I just leave it in there on its own. I then set it to yogurt. With Bifido, I am setting the temperature at 100 degrees and I am setting it to 30 hours. You can also do this one for 24 hours. You can do whichever you like. I've done both. So here we are 30 hours later. Our Bifido is stiffened up, our yogurt is stiff, and then I am popping it into the refrigerator. The next day, after it has been refrigerated, there is our yogurt. It looks so good. So here is our Bifido. Look at how creamy that looks. Look at that top. I just wanted to keep showing you guys the top of it because it looks so pretty before I dived into it. And can we just talk about the light? Because sometimes the light hits my kitchen perfectly. But oh my gosh, look at that creamy goodness. You guys, this is preservative-free yogurt. It's probably got billions of probiotics because we started off with 500 million of Bifido, and over the course of the fermentation, it just expanded. But look at that, preservative-free, filler-free, organic, unsweetened, homemade yogurt.
That's the exact shine jar.
So now to keep the culture going, I did this time buy ultra pasteurized half and half. This Organic Valley is ultra pasteurized. So I'm pouring it into the mason jar. Because it's already ultra pasteurized, you don't have to heat it, but I am, because that saves us time of the milk having to heat up during the fermentation. So I am just heating it up. I'm going to use the same mason jar that I am already using because the milk was ultra pasteurized. As the milk heats up, I'm just gently stirring it, and I accidentally went over 100 degrees, so now we have to wait for the milk to cool down. Now we are checking the milk to see if it's cool. It is at 93 degrees, and so now I am just adding in some of my yogurt from my last batch. I know many of you have asked me in previous videos, do I have to add inulin or honey? No, you don't. If you do, nothing will really happen. I've tried it before. You can if you want to, but everything is totally fine. All you have to do is add in your yogurt to your new batch, and that's how you keep this starter going. Now this yogurt that we're making will be our starter culture for the next batch. So as you see, it just goes on and on and on. So we're adding this yogurt into the Instant Pot. No water. I am now setting it to yogurt, 100 degrees, and I am putting it on 30 hours. Like I said, you can also do 24 hours. At the end of 30 hours, here is our next batch of yogurt again, thick, and now I am refrigerating it until the next day. Now, here is our yogurt the next day. Because I put it straight in the fridge after the fermentation, it kind of sealed itself in the mason jar. But look at that creamy top, even more creamy than the last time. Now, I just want to remind you, never double dip. Do not lick your spoon and put your spoon back into your yogurt because you will introduce other bacterias into your yogurt. This yogurt is your starter culture. So whenever you want to make another batch of yogurt, you're going to use a couple of tablespoons of this yogurt for the next batch. So make sure you are not double dipping. But that yogurt looks so creamy, so good. I just wanted to show you guys it also a little bit later in the day after I had scooped out some more. I was eating it. It's so good. But look how creamy it is, even in half the jar. Just so creamy. All right, so let me know if you guys decide to make this Bifidobacterium infantis cultured yogurt. Let me know how your yogurt turns out. Let me know what you think of the taste. I've noticed that all of these different bacteria strains have different tastes. And let me know if you're noticing any health benefits. And don't forget to head over to Sisterfrennn.com. I am giving the first 100 people a copy of my Rebirth Ancestral Guide. It is a start guide to gut healing. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one.